RTX 3060 has arrived, and in this video we're going to build a full gaming setup great for high frame rate gaming on the 3060. I've got a 280Hz monitor from Asus, some awesome peripherals from Corsair and MSI, and of course our gaming PC build today with the 3060 and loads more goodies. So without any further ado, let's dive into it. Let's kick this video off by looking at our system first and then building our setup around it. This is the PC itself. We've got the Asus Strix RTX 3060 front and center. It's a beast of a GPU for high frame rate 1080p gaming, and this Strix card is a little bit overkill, but it looks great. Any 3060 will do, but I like this Asus card, and you can find my full written review of the card in the card section now. In terms of the CPU and the RAM today, I've got AMD's Ryzen 5 3600. I opted to go for this and not the newer 5600X, as it's a bit overkill for today's build, and at over $100 more expensive, at least RRP pricing, this is a better value option by a mile. And 16GB of Patriots Viper RGB memory is perfect. With a 3600MHz clock speed, perfect for Ryzen. With Intel, RAM speeds don't matter quite so much. It's going to do us really nicely for our build today. The whole system is built on top of the Asus B550M Tough gaming board, which importantly has Wi-Fi built in, so we haven't got to worry about that in today's setup. And all of this is built inside Antec's brand new DF700 Flux. Now this is a case that's fantastic for high airflow. You get 3 included RGB fans up front. Let's take a look at those actually by powering our system up. Here we go. Oh yes, they're addressable RGB and they look awesome. You also get a non-RGB fan at the back of the system here with an extra fan included if you want to push a bit more air to your graphics card, but I think we're doing pretty good. And all in all, this is a great build. If you want to learn more about this system, check out our full build guide for this PC in the cards section now. Cool, so let's kind of start building our setup up and kick things off with our extended mouse pad. Specifically, this is brand new from Corsair. It's their MM700 RGB. Now, I like a good RGB mouse pad, but they're not normally all that great, and Corsair tend to execute these things really nicely. Sometimes the RGB lighting's not even or consistent, and I'm hoping that this is going to solve that issue. It's also absolutely huge and also has a USB pass-through. That's quite cool, and actually is going to be really useful for a mouse or like a USB stick. It's just a convenient addition to have with this RGB control box, which is also USB-C, which you don't see often on mouse pads, so it's really good to see kind of Corsair going about things a little bit more properly than the rest. In terms of the peripherals we're going to pop on our mouse pad, I've gone for a bit of an unusual combination. I could have gone all Corsair, but I'm a huge fan of MSI's Vigor GK50 Elite. The Corsair K60 is quite nice and comes in a bit cheaper, so check that out at the links alongside all the components down below, but I think this one takes the biscuit. It has got Kale switches, which might be a little bit of a turn off for some people, but personally I really like these switches. They're kind of like a Cherry MX Blue, but a little bit lighter in terms of actuation force, which is quite nice, and the low profile keys on here are awesome to type and to game on. The build quality is also really nice, and it's great to see a board partner like MSI do peripherals properly and not just do peripherals because everyone else is doing peripherals, if that kind of makes sense. Now I'm going to couple this with a brand new mouse from Corsair. This is their Guitar Pro XT. It's a super lightweight mouse that thankfully doesn't have that kind of honeycomb mesh. I'm not a fan of that honeycomb mesh. Sorry to, all the honeycomb mesh fans out there. As I say though, this is their Guitar Pro XT, weighing in at just 73 grams and with an 18,000 DPI sensor. You can be sure that this mouse is going to be great for high frame rate gaming, and importantly, it's also pretty inexpensive. I'm a big fan of the M65 Elite, as many as you will know, but it's quite pricey for a mouse, and when we're coupling it with a 3060, we don't want to go too overkill today, and I think these two are a bit of a match made in heaven. Now with the mouse and the keyboard on today, let's grab our headset stand and our headset and really complete our peripheral setup. I've opted for Corsair's HS60 haptic gaming headset. It's one of the newer entrants to the Corsair headset range, and I'm going to be mounting it today on our Havit RGB headphone stand. Seemingly every company out there now makes a headphone stand, but this one from Havit is great value RGB and comes in at a much better price point than any of the options from Razer or Corsair. Not quite as premium in its build quality, it's got a bit of flex, but it does have a USB hub, base for a headphone or mic jack as well, which is quite nice. And all in all, it feels pretty substantial. It's not actually going to fall over as well, which for a headset stand is obviously sounds silly, but it's quite important. bottom. That's going to go here and plug up to our PC and illuminate like the rest of our setup, a bit like a Christmas tree. I do actually need to give Corsair a little bit of credit for just how good their HS range of headsets are. They might not all be wireless and they might not all be, you know, super low latency, and the sound design might be a little bit bass gamer heavy, but in terms of gaming headsets, the build quality is top notch. They're super duper comfortable, and I think aesthetically they look great. This HS60 haptic actually has camo, which is hydro dipped, meaning two headsets are never identical, which is a bit gimmicky, but it's actually quite cool when you think about it. That's quite a nice little addition. And the audio quality on this in terms of the microphone as well is pretty good, and we're going to test that out a little bit later. That's going to sit quite nicely on our headphones stand today, which means there's only one component left to go, and that's the monitor, which is a really standout bit of today's setup. So let's just get this thing straight out the box. See you in a sec.
2 seconds later.
This is the Asus TUF Gaming VG279. This is a 1080p 280Hz monitor with a 1 millisecond response time and an IPS panel. What's more, you also get G-Sync to help eliminate screen tearing without the need for V-Sync, which hammers your performance, and a really, really nice panel. Now, 1080p obviously isn't as sharp as 1440p, that kind of goes without saying, but the 3060 for most people is a 1080p card, and at RRP, this $1,500 setup provides extraordinary value. Thinking that you can game at esports level frame rates on a high refresh rate monitor for this kind of budget really is a testament to just how far some of this tech has come along. Let's boot our monitor up, boot our system up, get our keyboard plugged in, and then play some games on this setup to see just how well this all performs in unison. It's very romantic. Cool, so we've booted our setup up, and the first thing we're going to do is jump into our monitor settings through the advanced display adapter properties. Bit of a mouthful, head over to the monitor tab and make sure we're set at 280 Hz, which is absolutely crazy. The first game I'm actually going to try out is a little bit of Doom Eternal. Cool, so we're just going to jump into our settings menu quickly. We're running at 1080p at native full screen, of course, and we've gone for the high preset across the board. Not quite ultra nightmare or ultra nightmare, but hopefully should kind of give us the frame rate edge that we are looking for. So straight off the bat, look at the colors. The IPS panel here looks awesome, and that 160 FPS so far on a 3060 is kind of crazy, right? Just going to try and take out as many from a distance as I possibly can. Give myself a better chance later on, hopefully. Whoa, look at this thing. Oh, I love this game. It is so, look, I think the colors on this thing are absolutely ridiculous, and everyone just comes out of nowhere straight away. This game is completely bonkers, and obviously it goes without saying. Obviously it looks awesome on this Asus 280Hz monitor. I am on the verge of death. This has not gone well, and that's game over. I also want to try out a little bit of Overwatch on this system, because I think here we might actually be able to saturate not only the 280 Hz of this monitor, but even higher. And obviously it's a similar story in the likes of Valorant and CSGO. But for now, let's take a look at Overwatch. Now, in terms of the settings we've gone for, we've got 1080p here. We're going to tune that preset down to high, because I think ultra's a little bit overkill, right? Make sure we go in the advanced settings, set our render scale to 100%. Make sure that we haven't got a limit on our frame rate as well. That's quite important. You can see here our frame rate cap is currently set at 300. We don't want that. We want to go as high as we possibly can, and we've got to restart the game to make sure that the changes can all kind of take effect. Here we go. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Da, 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 da. It's very exciting. I haven't played Overwatch in a couple of weeks, you know. It's been quite a while. Here we go. What are we sitting at? 294 FPS. That's not a bad effort, is it? Pop a shield. Where are you? What are you doing, buddy? Get out of here. I never thought I'd say it as a Cherry MX fan, but I'm really liking these kind of KL white switches. Oh, attacking A. This is looking pretty good. We're still at nearly 300 FPS as well, which is not a bad effort. My shield is about to go. There, it's gone. Refresh the shield. Getting healed. Nice. Don't think so. What are you doing up there, mate? This is looking good. My team have come in clutch here. Capture in. This is the moment. This is the moment. Here we go. Come on, get out of here. I do not think so. Get out of here. Boom, that's a nice elimination. We like that. Don't think so. Here we go. No. Oh, I'm low on health. Low on health. Low on health indeed. Give me the shift. Give me the shift boost. Give me the shift boost. Yes. Now we're talking. Oh. No, I don't think so, buddy. That's not going to work on me. Oh, no, it's not. Get in the bin. Yes! Come on, what a kill. Double kill. Beautiful. I'm on form today, ladies and gentlemen. I am on form, I tell you. Poor Jake having his lunch over there. Hey, what are you doing over there, you bunch of numpties? You have been rumbled, boy. You've been rumbled. Let's get ready to rumble. Get in the bin. In the bin, in the bin, in the bin. Yeah. Oh, mate, I'm on an absolute firestorm. I must have had a kill streak of at least 10 there, maybe more than 10 before I just got had off. It's not only Overwatch and Doom Eternal though that this setup is good for. On your screen now are some benchmark figures for a load of titles tested on this exact machine with this configuration. If you'd like to see the full unedited gaming benchmark runs, there's not quite time in this video, they'll also be linked in the cards section now, so go and check those out and subscribe to our benchmark YouTube channel called Benched. If you enjoyed this video though, you know what to do. Everything talked about will be linked down in the description below. Thanks for watching, get subscribed if you aren't already, and as always, we'll see you in the next one. Adios, see you later.